and they're looking to get themselves a victory and meet up with Acatsuki going forward.
Yeah, we'll get into the game here and see how the teams are moving around for the first ward placement here. A little bit of smoke action on both teams to get good vision here across the river.
Glorious.
Looks like Thunder is just going to stick to their side, not going to get too crazy. Just want a nice steady start, it feels like, for the side of Thunder. And the same thing goes from the side of Mad Kings. They're grouped up. They're expecting some sort of shenanigans, some sort of smoke play, but they will not get the chance to dodge it because everybody's just staying to their own side.
Yeah, looks like they're hiding from the vision as well, sitting under tower to make sure they're not giving any information away early. So we could see a bit of brawling here for the runes on the bottom bounty rune here. A lot of players going for it.
The battle begins.
Axe is getting tossed out. Throw out a dagger too. As Oscar, he's taking some nice damage, especially when you consider those fatal bonds landing onto multiples, but
yeah, some
no
value
first
from,
blood just yet.
Some value from the blood grenade with the fatal bonds as well there, doing good damage. It's gonna help the bottom lane a little bit there as Beastmaster loses all his HP, and he didn't have any HP regen either, so needs to chew on those tangles that he's been passed over by Jenik.
All right, everybody is making their way now to these lanes. What can we expect to see during the first 5 minutes?
I think we're going to see a lot of action bottom. This is, you know, anytime you see PA, it usually ends up being a very aggressive lane. And even though Warlock doesn't really facilitate that so well, I think bottom lane could easily find some kills. And top lane, meanwhile, should be a little bit more static, just harassment trade. And,
okay.
Finally on mid lane, I mean, this is about clean execution here. We'll see how Sladam can outplay against the Storm, because it's pretty annoying to play melee heroes against Storm. Tough to get in close and farm.
I feel like we could see some moves up here in the top lane if the Silencer gets a little too cheeky, because you do have a Rubik and a Mars, which is a pretty potent combination.
Yeah, the level 2 power spike is really good for him. And they got the lane really far back right now. So if they get level 2 and Silencer is a little bit out of line, then he could be caught. But for now, it's going to be Mad Kings who get level 2 first, though.
I like this, where they're able to get some of the fatal bonds off on the side camp, too. Bottom lane, Jenik. There's that stroke of fate, but gets very close to his own demise there for a moment.
Has to be so careful. Those daggers are really dangerous. Even though Warlock is basically just auto-attacking and putting fatal bonds every now and then, the PA alone, he's jumping in, doing damage again.
Like you said, just a lot of aggression coming out of the Phantom Assassin lane, and when it's coupled up with the fatal bonds, it's really annoying. Do have a couple stick charges or wand charges on the Beastmaster, and holding on to a salve, but I have a feeling they'll be burning through a lot of that region.
Yeah, he's queuing up, getting the Vanguard as well, so looks like he's gonna go for the Vanguard into Mana Boots into Aghanim's build. We saw some Helm of the Overlord build on Beastmaster as well before, but I'm more of a fan of this build.
Jenik, a little bit too forward here, but again, you just have the fatal bonds. Do have the upheaval though now, so they'll have to trudge their way through.
PA doesn't really want to jump in and get Inkswell stunned. He wants to focus on getting the CS as well, even though it is still a first blood available. If you manage to get a kill, it's a lot of gold potential here.
Yeah, we do have the level 2s on the off lane of Thunder. I'm surprised that we aren't seeing a little bit more aggression, but perhaps Red Monster just being very smart in his positioning. Does manage to get himself that double arcane curse.
Doing a good job just sitting in good position, and he's going to go for a pull as well, try and get the lane back a little bit here, as the lane is too far down really. Bloodseeker feeling a bit uncomfortable farming this close to a tier 1 tower.
I think that's very reasonable. I guess on the bright side for the side of Mad Kings, right, the Warlock going to be babysitting PA, and also not exactly the best hero at ganking, so they don't have to worry at least about him rolling through those twin gates to make an early rotation.
Yeah, it's not really what you're gonna have happen until at least he gets level 6. Then he can start getting interested in joining places. He's going in though to block up some of the stacks here that are being made. He sentry blocked the Ancients, even though it gets decentered immediately, and he body blocked the big camp. So the Grimstroke trying to stack up for his Beastmaster, not gonna get anything just yet.
I like this move that they made. They rotated to get the water rune, so that way PP would not have anything to refill his health. They are a little in trouble though now because of that rotation. It does make it difficult now because he should end up dying. Yeah, that's gonna be first blood. So a little bit of a consolation prize coming out for PP, just because he did not manage to get that bottle refill thanks to the supports rotating from Thunder, but he does get the first blood.
That's a lot of gold, puts him almost all the way towards the Falcon Blade here, just needs 50 more gold to get that, and he's going to be very happy with this amount of gold injection from the kill. Bottom we see Beastmaster using the boar as well to stack up, already has a triple stack over on the Ancients, going for quadruple.
Now they have to know this is happening on Thunder. Are they going to try to make any plays to take it away from him, or how did they play this, do you think?
It's so hard to contest that. That's one of the reasons why Beastmaster's like first pick material, is because this Ancient camp is so difficult to reach. And like if you think about the mid player going over there, it's behind a tower, it's tricky to get there, and even making smoke ganks is very hard into that area. So I think Beastmaster will probably end up clearing that no matter what.
Well, this is awkward because Red Monster just went through the twin gate to come bottom. And we do have a pause. I don't believe they've seen... is it close enough where they can see the vision here?
No, he's not spotted. He's in Fog of War. He's good. But he's looking towards maybe getting a find here over on the side of Warlock. Warlock has a lot of HP though. And PA, you know, that's the ideal kill, but she has mobility. And you don't have a great way to lock her down.
It's inching forward on the silencer, and they are split up.
Warlock is going in. He wants to try and block up the Ancients again. He has a mission, so he's gonna leave PA alone for a bit.
Knight's in a sticky situation, though, as Red Monster moving forward. He doesn't have anyone to leap to. And Inkswell does connect. We're seeing the teleports come out, trying to protect Knight. Beautiful avalanche, but not enough to save him. Can they turn this around? Can they get themselves a kill? And Jay-Z comes forward. Yeah, they'll find one as this imp chases after Red Monster. But it looks like Slatums has had enough. Is just going to go right back to the mid lane.
It's good reaction by Slatum, but that does mean that he wasn't contesting any of the power runes. And Storm did pre-check top. It wasn't top, but he had time to go bottom, get this Arcane rune as well. And Tiny, gotta be careful here chasing in after a Storm with Arcane in hand.
Just steals all of that farm, though, from PP.
Absolute robbed.
A hit and run.
Storm still holding on to the Arcane rune, is ready to join side lanes in 20 seconds though, when he has TP ready. Might see him go for a gank.
Now Slatum's just walking all over that ward there. He's hoping maybe to make a play with the Rubik, but it's not going to be able to. Just going to get very aggressive, clear up this creep wave. He's got the card, he's still alive, so this will help him push a little bit more, put a bit more pressure on PP, who is sitting at level 6 now.
He's doing a good job getting some tower damage here, and you know, just bullying the Storm in general, throwing his damage whenever he can. The bottom Ancient should probably soon get farmed up by Beastmaster here, as they are starting to stack it even more.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen more aggression going against Adrian here in the top lane. I guess the Rubik kind of has been floating around a little bit, but I would like to see... we saw the aggression come down on PA, and I think that was absolutely the call there. Although mid lane, hold that thought. PP Wajenek here has the Inkswell and the silence, but Knight being in position, recognizing that something's about to happen, will keep him alive.
Tiny close enough under tower, and so much HP on this hero to go through, so I'm not going to be able to burst him down, especially as he has that ulti as well for extra armor.
Little bit of an invasion coming out too. They see that they've got some of their own stacks, so PB says this will make up for the one that I just lost to Slatums.
Yeah, at the same time, they're also controlling the top rune here with the 2 supports, so the bottom refill for himself again, as Tiny smokes up with the Rubik now. Maybe looking for action towards top. They're drawing the line.
Yeah, this is what I was about to ask. I was saying, you know, they made a rotation onto PA, which is absolutely what you need to do, right? Because we've seen what happens when Knight gets uncontested farm. I would like to see them do something similar to Adrian, because Adrian has had a lot of just free time hitting creeps with very little pressure, because it's basically just been Illich versus him in this lane for a couple minutes now.
Bit awkward though. They used to smoke and then decide to just stick around mid, waiting for Storm for a little bit, and then Tiny ends up just farming lane, and Rubik not gonna be able to do anything with the smoke either. So didn't really get value out of that one. But yeah, I think Bloodseeker's a tough kill to get, and they wanted to try and shut down Storm. Gonna be unable to do so though.
Yeah, MJZ rotating towards this top area, still sitting at level 5 though. No ultimate just yet. No ultimate on the silencer either though, so could potentially try to just soak up some XP and then make something happen here.
Yeah, he's hanging around. You know, they have the arena available, so if Silencer steps up, they could just use the arena and secure themselves that kill. It would be pretty easy. Bottom at the same time, though, this Beastmaster has Roar ready, so PA has to be a little bit mindful about how close he gets.
Yeah, they've got... Definitely have to have TPs at the ready on the side of Thunder, just because it is a Beastmaster, and he's going to be able to push pretty quickly and take down this tier 1, so would like to see something, some more aggression happening. They do have the arena on Mars, so that's an opportunity if they want to try to make something, maybe put some pressure on Red Monster. Rubik looks like he's just going to stack up these Ancients here on the side. So it just feels like a lot of these supports, same thing with Genic, they're just taking care of their jungle for their cores at this time. They're not looking to get super aggressive.
Yeah, it's really just it's really just a stack war right now. I think it favors Dire though. Overall, Mad Kings have the better lineup for just stacking up and farming. Even though you do have Battle Fury eventually for PA, so it's going to be nice to have some Ancient stacks prepared for her. She's getting closer towards that Battle Fury, needs Claymore and the recipe. She's at 700 gold right now. But yeah, overall, I think Tiny would like to get some moves done, but he didn't get any of the power runes. First we had the Arcane rune, then Invis rune, and now a Shield rune over on the Storm. He's really just getting all the control.
I feel like also this Blink Dagger is going to be a very big timing for them. Although, all right, Illich and MJZ Slatums, they're all smoked up as Genic and PP are making their wide bottom. They know that this PA has just been allowed to free farm. But the counterplay...
The double smoke towards bottom here.
Ooh, Oscar's super low. They're looking for the Roar. Knight's backing off. The teleports are coming out. Verifying Oscar, there will be no Roar as they'll try to make a little bit of a zip. There it is. There's the global silence. Knight trying to get away. Not going to be able to quite do this as now Illich was looking to go for that Spirit. Will be able to land the arena. The follow up with the chaotic offering. And they've got PP and they also managed to grab themselves a support as a rupture is going to get used on Knight. They have no way to really cancel this TP though, so they're just out.
Pretty clean for Thunder Awaken there. They did commit a lot of big spells. The arena and the golem was dropped, but at the end of the day, they TP out safely with the PA. Rupture didn't really get value, and they were just the ones in a little bit better position. And a lot of it comes down to Beastmaster having no HP. Like, before the gank happened, he was clearing the Ancients, so he was down to 200 HP, just sitting in lane, and pretty much died to 2 spells.
Was that just an inopportune time that they should be smoking? Should they have been more mindful of that, or?
I think
I guess they weren't expecting the counter gank, right? They thought that they could just get this PA by herself.
Yeah, I think you have to expect it though. If you're sitting in lane with no HP, I mean, he came back from farming Ancients, but the moment you're playing lane with like 300, 400 HP as a core, you are taking a huge risk. And he was trying to do it as a bait and then punish the enemy with their own smoke gank, but it was just unlucky for him that the smoke was already coming over on the side of Thunder Awaken as well.
Well, timings are looking pretty good though for Thunder. You're going to have a Blink Dagger on Tiny very, very shortly, and the same thing for Illich. So they'll be able to really make a lot of aggressive plays and make the space for Knight, who is continuing to work on that Battle Fury.
Yeah.
Do have to worry about those cooldowns though, although on the side of Mad Kings have Roar available, so they could potentially make something happen. You know, Storm and the Grimstroke together make a very, very strong combo if they're looking for pickoffs too.
Yeah, and they're TPing top now, trying to punish the Mars. It's a little bit too far out.
Ball lightning forward. That silence applied. And that's a quick pick off. So very nicely done. Didn't even honestly need Genic there, but
Yeah,
He's got to be happy.
He was just there in case something else would happen, but yeah, that's going to put the Storm closer towards his Witchblade, only 500 gold away. And then he will get a little bit of True Strike, which can be nice against the PA as well. But mainly that increased damage will help him secure some kills in his ganks.
Dire's middle tower.
Blink Dagger online for Slottum, so I wouldn't be surprised if decides to go smoke up here with Knight. In fact, that's exactly the plan, and they're going back bottom. And while this is going on, again, Knight, I hate that they both have Knights on their teams. Smiling Knight, the PA, just farming up some Ancients, but again, on the other side here, this Bloodseeker having the full Maelstrom is just going to continue to farm and keep up.
He's keeping up for now, but at some point he will fall behind the PA. Like, there's a lot more pressure for Bloodseeker to activate and make things happen. Even though he will scale pretty decently, PA with Battle Fury now starting to cut into these Ancients is just... He's not going to be able to keep up with her. And late game, she is the stronger carry.
Slottum's on the hunt. The smoke's about to run out, though. We'll go for a little bit of a scan play. He'll reveal himself over on the tower. Just wants to get some of these clicks, and Illick standing nearby. Blink Dagger's coming out for him now, too.
Very slow and controlled start here to the game bottom. We might see a dive on the Warlock if he's not careful. As they move back with Genek here towards the lane as well. He's just trying to sit here and soak up experience.
They do have Global available on Red Monster, so it does feel like they're looking to have some sort of a fight. Although, we'll just go and do a little bit of stacking. Not quite. A little bit off on that, but...
They can't really initiate this problem. They have enough, firepower to kill the Warlock, but nobody who can jump. But Storm, he's coming over.
Oh, here he comes.
Yeah.
Speaking of jump. But this will end up being a trade because that tower is going down very, very shortly. And see Knight thinking about just making this rotation to bottom, but it's not going to be fast enough for MJZ. So your Warlock will die. Pressure will be put on the tower. But while this happens, top tower does go down.
At the same time, they have the Catapult now sieging up. So bottom tower, it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, even though they're a little bit behind. And they got a kill with their tower as well. So getting a little bit of a premium deal there. This game...
yes, the take one tower, get one support for free.
Yes. I mean, there's always going to be someone who wants that experience. Game's pretty slow and methodical here, though, by both teams, as they're feeling pretty confident going into the mid and late game. Not too stressed about how they make their moves.
Yeah, we have the Battle Fury competed for the PA. She's working on the Desolator, and it looks like the BKB is on the menu for Adrian. So those are probably going to be the two big items that they're going to want to wait to get before they start fighting. But on the flip side of that, right, you have yourself... MJC's like, no, don't want it. You've got a Storm Spirit who can make a lot of things happen with his Grimstroke if needed. And it does feel like Slottum's has been making these rotations along with Knight. They haven't been crazy successful. I would like to see them pair up with Illick. I feel like this arena is just so good. There it is. There's the Avalanche. The Global Sign's going to come into play, and he is ruptured. So Slottum's going to try to teleport out. Do they have the stun? No, they don't. He is just dead.
That was such a quick stun by Inkswell there, and you can see the value of Grimstroke in the new patch. That changed that you can now cancel it at will. I didn't think that he had time to do it, because you can't do it in the first 0.5 seconds. Right. But no, he managed to get the Inkswell stun, and that's a good punish right there.
Now, here's my thing, though, right, is that they were able to keep their Bloodseeker alive, but they used the Global Silence, and Global Silence has a pretty high cooldown. You still have a Mars who's got himself Arena, and this Tiny is going to be back up in about 3 seconds, and he's really not cooldown reliant. What's to save them from, doing this again?
Yeah, I think in general, Thunder, their lineup lends itself pretty well to just, go and use these big ultimates and get some kills. At the same time, though, I don't think it's that easy for them to make the move, since whenever you gank, you're usually already conceding some lane pressure. So bottom lane is now being pushed in, mid lane needs to be pushed. Because of this, it's hard for them to just immediately regroup after dying and go for a new gank. Storm just enjoying life on bottom lane. Got the Kaya, got the Witchblade and the Falcon Blade. Closing
She
in
went
on
BKB. PA went BKB instead of Deso first. They're looking to get very aggressive very fast.
Yeah, it's very telling to, you know, his idea here. He wants to go and fight. He wants to do things. And it's even a game where, you know, there is the BKB piercing primal roar available, even the soulbind going through BKB. So surprised to see him go for that instead of the Deso. Now they're pinging out Roche, but they don't have the best damage with Deso not available.
Yeah, I am a little surprised, but again, this is a play that they will not be really suspecting on the side of Mad Kings either. So it'll take some doing.
They scan it. This is not a very fast Roche, so they can get over there if they're really fast.
I mean, they're going as fast as they can for sure. In fact, yeah, Storm teleporting towards the top. All 5 heroes are here. They do have the global silence. They need to get in there quickly, though. Taking a little bit of time.
Looks like they will be able to finish it up in time,
Yeah,
but might see Mad Kings fight still.
Knight leading the charge.
Radiant are scanning.
I like this. I like how they use Knight because he has this blur, because he has this. Immediately gonna get jumped upon. A follow-up with a big blood right, but the arena onto the backlines has already been used. They're not going to be able to follow up with a chaotic offering just yet. Knight, that's going to be the Aegis down. Illic, is he going to fall? Yes, he is. They go and just try to drop down what they can to zip away, though. Knight is not looking healthy here at all. As the Glimmer Cape will be used on MJZ, Knight will also teleport away. They have the drag back on MJZ, though. They have that vision when he's right there, so... Just like that, that first Roche into Aegis, and the Aegis is already gone.
Yeah, that backfired really hard, and that's exactly why I was saying this BKB is a bit surprising to me. Not going Deso first, you saw what happened in that fight. He decided to use BKB with Aegis, which is questionable as well, but they jump in, catch him a little bit here, and then the bind and the roar. This BKB usage here, I think, is just grief. Like, you still had Aegis. You could have respawned with Aegis or with the BKB and come back to fight, but instead respawns without it, just gets controlled by a silence from Grimstroke and goes down super easily.
That should help.
It's back to the drawing board here for the side of Thunder, and it looks like they're thinking about doing this Tormentor and getting themselves some shards online. It would be very nice to have on your Grimstroke, for sure.
Yeah, gonna take some doing here as they got the pipe to block up the magic damage at least. Grimstroke stays alive and he's gonna get the shard. Very high value shard for sure, so getting a bit of extra heal. And of course now you can unstun people from any of the disables here from the side of Radiant, as well as getting a Dispel for the Fatal Bonds to remove that.
Oh, this is nice. We've got two greater the greater healing Lotus now for the Storm Spirit.
Oh yeah, that's pretty high impact. 900 mana back on Storm is definitely quite fantastic. That's almost his full mana pool at this point. Warlock just shoving mid with upheaval. Always looks so silly seeing a Fatal Bond upheaval push.
They're grouped up. I was about to say, I think they're going for a smoke. As not a lot of vision up, though, for the side of Mad King. So also an opportunity. You can see that there are Observer Sentries on Grimstroke. But the two of these guys, they're thick as thieves. They've been going everywhere together. It's just too good to have your Ink Swell coupled with a Storm Spirit. And Knight needs to be very careful. This Rubik is very, very close to the tower. And you can tell that's all they're waiting for. Yeah, look, they go. They drop the Ink Swell. Not going to be successful because Knight realizing, nobody's showing. I'm just going to back off.
That was pretty much a blind jump right there, but they get the tower at least and, continue building their lead a little bit. They have 5,000 gold lead right now. Over on the side of Thunder Awaken, though, they have the BKB coming out for the Mars. So that's going to give them a little bit of a sense of security here as they have double BKB timing. But I think right now, Mad Kings have a pretty fierce lineup to fight into with the Pipe and Crimson Guard finished up on Beastmaster.
Trying to see what the next big items are going to be. Not only does PP have himself the greater healing list, he's got a regen rune bottled currently. That's like so much for Storm. So good.
Yeah, super nice. I think next big timing is going to be the PA. She's 600 gold away from the Desolator, so getting towards that is crucial here for Thunder, getting a bit of extra damage, but I don't know if you want to activate the PA necessarily. She kind of just wants to sit back and farm. I would like to see them get value out of the Warlock ulti and the Mars ulti though, but maybe they're a bit scared after what we saw in the last fight there. Having Aegis going into a fight and then just getting destroyed can sort of take the speed out of a team.
I feel like it's a little clunky right now just because they do have the silencer and the Warlock, like the way that this positioning is going to have to come down, and also the timing of dropping ultis is, what do you do now? You just have MJZ, because it's hard, right? Because you want to use your Mars. Your Mars has a Blink Dagger. He's got this BKB, but you also want to be able to land this Chaotic Offering, and I feel like you kind of need to land that first and then have this silencer go, use his ultimate, and then BKB, get your Mars in there, but it's like tricky, so tricky, right?
It's tricky for Thunder because they don't really have a ton of damage right now. They have a great future in front of them if they can build up items here, get PA to be even stronger, get Tiny to maybe have BKB and an Aghanim's, and you know, once the Daedalus is online, sure, you could have great damage in you know 10 or 15 minutes from now. But at this very moment, they are definitely lacking. And Storm now with an Arcane Rune, with greater Healing Lotus and full Kai Assange upgrade, he is looking so strong.
So how do they approach this if they do want to try to monopolize, or capitalize rather, on the...
it's smoke. I mean, that's what they're going to do as well. They're going to smoke and try to defend. Yeah, I don't know if it's in time, but tower's falling pretty fast. They're wrapping around. Okay,
there's the fortification. Yeah, look at the way that they're playing just on the bottom portion of the map. Keeping the Storm very forward. He has some great ways of escaping. We'll send this courier. So they'll know. They saw the courier go sweeping by. Doing a wide wrap. Oh, look at this. Very nicely done. The Glimmer Cape's going to get used. Flatum jumps in, tries to blow up Zhenek immediately. Not quite able to, though, as they'll drop that and follow up with the Global Silence and the Arena. But look at the damage that these bonds are just doing right now. As the whole people in place, the BKBs have been used. PP jumping onto the back lines, wants to get Knight. Knight also just fighting with Adrian, but he's not strong enough yet. He will end up dying to this Bloodseeker. And now Illic left all alone. Oh, what a disaster for the side of Thunder. They're team wiped right now.
Yeah, you can see the value from that greater Healing Lotus as well for the Storm. That was really close to Storm getting bursted, but even with the crits that they got on the PA, it wasn't enough. And then Bloodseeker comes in, gets the Rupture. It was a very, very crucial thing that the Grimstroke was able to put down a ward before he died there.
No, that gave them so much information. And things were looking good, right? Like, they were with those fatal bonds connected.
Yeah,
It starts to look pretty nice, but then, like, look at this. Yeah, you see this, like, little fight between Adrian and Knight, and it's just...
A lot of it comes down to the damage mitigation of the Beastmaster in that fight too. The Pipe plus Crimson difference there. You know, you have one team with these aura items and the other team doesn't have it. So even though you have the BKBs and you feel strong, aura items makes the entire team strong as well over on the side of Mad Kings. So I think they had maybe a chance to burst someone, but ultimately the positioning wasn't really good enough for them. They only saw the Grimstroke to begin with there. They would ideally have found someone else to jump.
Do you think it would be worth it for Mars? So it does look like Mars has queued up a sheep stick. Would it have been worth it, though, to like see something a little more utility on him? Or do you feel like it's very necessary that he's going the items that he is?
I would be okay with seeing him go for something like Crimson Guard, but it's tricky, man. I just feel like Mars is not actually that good of an offlane hero right now, and the way to make him good is by just having a player who's super comfortable and a real hero spammer on it. Because we used to have this meta of Snapfire Mars offlane, and you know, it looked fantastic every game. Nowadays, it's a bit lackluster compared to some other offlane options.
Zip in from Storm, finding this opening. We'll just remove the Rubik. So, I was looking at MJZ too, but it's a little spooky. Illic wants to follow up. They'll go with the global, and then they'll follow. They're all linked up. A good roar, though, coming into play. They were not expecting that on the side of Thunder, so they end up losing the PA. They'll lose the Mars again, and MJZ also will eventually get taken out.
Okay, that's actually worth talking a little bit about. That's
huge.
Such a cool mechanic. They got the Soul Bind on two heroes and then rupture both of them with Bloodseeker. Then the Primal Roar pushes them away from each other because Primal Roar pushes other targets. So both of them essentially get force-staffed to the side with Rupture on them. Very, very clean execution there for the side of Mad Kings.
Beautifully done, that's for sure. Now they're gonna go take their Tormentor. It's gonna go over to the Silencer.
It's the weird thing as well when you do that combo, by the way, is that you break the Soulbind on the two targets because they push each other away from each other. But that might also end up catching someone else. But yeah, we see just more and more advantage building here. The Silencer Shard, maybe not the most impactful one normally to get, but it does mean he will steal a little bit more int and has that auto attack silence as well.
Radiant are scanning.
16k net worth lead at 28 minutes into this game. Mad Kings, we talked about it earlier. They were not necessarily the team that people thought would be in the lower semis, but they're proven that they deserve to be here.
Yeah, they're coming out very, very strong here. 15k lead is nothing to scoff at here as Thunder Awaken. Yeah, you have PA for late game, but what kind of a late game is it going to be when you're this far behind already? I just haven't felt any real initiative from them in this game. They didn't manage to make too many moves. They kind of fell back into stacking and farming. Storm zipping deep here.
Yeah, he sees Illich. It's not going to go too far. Realizes, well, I'm pretty far from my team. I don't have much mana right now. I gotta chill. But
the only reason he stopped is because he had 0 mana. He went as far as he could. He would have kept going if he had more mana, I feel. This man is aggressive.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But yeah, how much of this too, you know, we talked about this PA doing something a little bit different. She opted to go for the BKB instead of the Desolator first. Does that really make a big difference in the way that this is kind of unfolded? Or is a lot of this just coming down to that clunky fight right after Roche?
I mean, if you go for the BKB, then you gotta get value out of it. And he ended up using it with 200 HP remaining and Aegis in hand. I just feel like...
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right, the follow-up though is here. But they'll use the global, and they've also dropped the chaotic offering. So 2 big ultimates used, and PP is very much alive and well, still has that Aegis, gets himself a haste rune for his troubles, and a kill.
This is 10, 0, and 7 on Storm. This is PP's world, and they're just living in it. He's been part of every kill apart from 2 right now. And we did hype him up a little bit. You mentioned that, you know, PP has been shining on that mid lane before the series. And here we see it again. He's just delivering in this qualifier.
But just because a mid is winning doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the rest of your team is able to keep up. I will say, though, today, you know, we talked about Mad Kings in the past. They had some kind of shaky games. This one's looking very good, though. It looks like they're moving together. They're very cohesive. There's a lot of synergy, and that is paying off for them in spades.
I also like that they have, you know, a lot of itemization going on their supports. Like Silencer is so farmed. He's 9.7k gold. He's almost caught up to the Tiny. He's got a Shadow Blade for himself, so even if the PA goes for Nullifier later on, he's gonna have Invis that doesn't get dispelled.
That's true. Aghanims on our Storm Spirit. Could be big in this next end, because, you know, he has no fear on this year. He knows the limits of how far he can push it. And an Abyssal finish. So it's going to jump in on MJC. Wants to remove the Warlock as quickly as possible. Will get tossed up in there. Follow up, though, with that Blood Right. The Rupture over onto Slotums. He's not going anywhere. So essentially just tether him to his base as they put the pressure down on this tower. And the 2 cores on the side of Thunder have not shown up. You don't have your Mars. You don't have the PA. They're just letting them take this building because I don't know if they feel comfortable even fighting near this.
Yeah, they haven't taken tier 2 yet, so they can't really push for more. The Storm is sticking around thinking if he can maybe jump someone again, but doesn't really have enough gas in the tank to go for a kill. Gonna back out.
It's like, I'd give anything for a Pugna right now.
Oh yeah, the broken Pugna mechanic. PA, meanwhile, working on finishing up a Lincoln Sphere. Understandable, super good Lincoln's game against the, you know, Storm plus Beastmaster and the Soulbind Rupture. There's so many things. But this still going to be a bit lacking in the damage department for the side of Thunder Awaken.
Double damage getting picked up now from PP, so, you know, as if he didn't have enough damage. He's got plenty more to dish out to go along with that very Davai attitude.
They have the Hex on Mars, so maybe they can punish the Storm when he jumps in. The problem is he still has that Aegis. You got to wait out the 1.5 minute now. But then after that, maybe they can set some form of trap for him.
I mean, they just got a free mid tower. Like, Mad Kings feels real good right now. They've got themselves a gem, 2 completed Shivas on the Storm. This is looking really rough for Thunder to not necessarily bounce back from, but just like even the stall out the game right now looks so difficult. Oh my god, that stroke of fate just clearing up everything. Whew.
Yeah, this is rough. I mean, they just don't really have much access. The Knight is doing a good job farming the enemy territory, though. You know, the safest part of the map is usually the enemy part of the map when you're this far behind. But the rest of them, all four, are just trapped in base.
It's really becoming that 4 protect 1 situation, which is a bit awkward for them.
Yeah, and pretty good job by Mad Kings to just stay in position to punish anyone who steps over line, and Illik going out here has to be careful.
I don't know. Do they need to smoke and try to... Like, the problem is they don't have vision anymore, right? Because they have a gem online. So they're just ripping down all the vision coming out from Thunder. And then you want to make a smoke play, but you don't know if you're going to run into all 5 of them at once when you don't have that information, which would be disastrous.
Yeah, I think the real play will be towards next Roche. That you gotta stop and don't give away Aegis to Storm again, because it's so devastating if he gets it. Storm now with the region rune, sipping around, having some fun.
Yeah, the
or the region
Aegis has
from
been
the Aegis.
reclaimed, yep. We'll go throw that Witchblade back into his inventory. PA, she's sitting on a lot of gold right now.
Yeah, he's
Gonna
holding.
be able to buy that Lincoln, so there it is.
He was holding for a while, and I was considering if he was like ready to get desperate and get himself a rapier or something, because he was, you know, building up to like 2.9k gold and even higher. But he also just didn't want to send out the courier since he was in enemy territory. The courier would kind of be an agent and reveal your location.
Traitor. Yeah. Again, Knight doing a great job in being able to just locate this farm, and the rest of the team doing their best to just buy this time. That's what it comes down to for the side of Thunder. They need to let this PA get big, but is it going to be enough? Because it's a lot of just eggs in one basket. We talked about, you know, having all your physical damage in one hero and everybody else just trying to make this space, but I feel like they didn't really get the chance to do as much as they would have liked with this Tiny, with this Mars.
Yeah, I think Mad Kings now are doing the right play as well. They're just grouping towards the tier 2 tower top, recognizing this is the last sort of bastion of hope. If you have these tier 2 towers, then you're not going to lose your entire base, but you already lost mid, and you're about to lose top now, because there's no way they defend outside the base. Thunder Awaken are so far behind, they need to fight inside their own base, or not at all.
Yeah, the BKB is coming out too for PP, so he was already unkillable. He's going to be even harder to kill now, and he's going to be able to go bounce around. They don't really have any great forms of lockdown for him. So this has been a very free and fun Storm game from what I'm seeing so far.
I mean, they do have some stuff with the telekinesis and now with the Hex on Mars as well, but problem is just that they don't have great amount of burst to kill, and even if they do lock him down, like this is a Shiva's Storm with, like you mentioned, now BKB. It's a lot to go through. His survivability is pretty damn high, and that's assuming that he doesn't get help by the Global Silence, the Inkswell Dispel, the Glimmer Cape that they have. They got so many things to save him.
They do have the sheep stick on the Mars, though, so that is one that they'll be able to use, even if the Global Silence is up. And he has himself a BKB, too, so we'll see. We'll see what they can manage, because they need to do something. They're just waiting around for death otherwise if they don't get out of the space.
Yeah, they're making a smoke move, and they're trying to push out mid now with a Warlock, but they have absolutely no intel on where everyone is. So this is a blind smoke. They're taking over the outpost and moving towards top. Like I said, the smoke had to be towards the Roshan. It may spawn any moment now.
Gonna be another minute and a half, but they are making their way, and it should be very clear to the side of Mad Kings that that's the general area they're gonna be heading after. Oh, they get right next to PP. They need to have this lockdown. Illik, he's a little bit slow here. BKB comes out. They'll follow up with the Soulbind and the Roar. Global Silence. They are just caught with their pants down here. It's not looking good. Ladam's going to go down. Illik now getting caught. They're going to buy back on multiple heroes as PP tries to finish off. Won't be able to do it, but Knight slicing through Oscar here. He's in the middle of everything, but they get the drag bag coming out from PP. He's just doing so much damage, and they just can't get their hands on them close enough. It doesn't matter. Oh my god. Somebody stop this Storm. He's got 2 gems now even. This guy.
Nice. He cut the gem out of their eyes right there, just zipping
Yeah.
around doing whatever he wanted. And that was 3 buybacks, by the way, for the side of Thunder as well. And they don't have buyback available for PA. She bought out a nullifier before that fight, trying to capitalize on some form of power spike here, but they just didn't have enough tools. And I don't know.
The reaction felt almost a little delayed there, right? Because, and again, it is a storm. So it is hard to, like, you know, get your hands on him, hold him down for long enough, but it felt like a half a second of just like, wait, did I just see what I thought I saw? And then, you know, Mad King's being like, oh my god, let's go. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, they could maybe have gone the Hex on the Storm there, going
Yeah,
back
here's
to
the
how it
replay,
initiated. I don't know if he saw him, though.
No, but the...
Yeah, they didn't get the vision. The Shivas was the first thing to see anything there. So Storm Shivas and zip across. And yeah, they just didn't have vision. That's where it's tough. It's tough when you smoke blindly. You have no
Yeah.
intel at all where the enemy team is.
I feel like when that smoke broke, though, they had to know, like, there was something going on position-wise from Mad Kings, because everybody wanted that Roche. It was no secret. But we do have the God view, of course, when we're doing casting and whatnot, so
Always looks
it's easy
funny
for us
when
to say, but...
looks funny when teams can get right up next to each other, like the Mars and the Storm there, because they were within 100 distance from each other pretty much, but
Yeah.
they still couldn't see because of the trees. Oh my god, the Beastmaster. He has the Assault Cuirass and Greaves now as well, so he has become the Aura Man.
And it's working out for him splendidly.
Yeah, this is a very neat build for a Beast, and having the Shard as well, he can have a lot of these Hawks up at the same time.
12, 0, and 11 on the Storm Spirit. He's looking to get himself a Revenant's Brooch for the next item, but I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to get the gold in time. They're putting the pressure down quickly. They know that they're very, very strong. They've got the Tormentor up, so they'll go and relieve Thunder of that.
Yeah, gonna go claim that, and who's it gonna go towards? It's actually just golden experience. They all have it now. Didn't realize Storm also
Slatus.
has it.
Look at Slatum's positioning. They go, they look. Oh, they managed to go and just spot him. The toss back, though, that's a big one on PP. He's got the nullifier. Gonna try to get the lift. All right, that's the Aegis. They'll follow up with a nice arena. Global Silence gets dropped. See, these Hawks just dive bombing PP. He's back up. They're just gonna click away over at this Chaotic Offering. And that's all their big ultis that are down. They have nothing else left in the tank, really, for the side of Thunder.
Yeah, at the same
They
time,
could just
though,
reset and go
Rupture,
right back in.
Rupture was expanded, so the PA feeling a little bit good about that, at least. There's
They
still
have a
Roar,
refresher
though.
shard, though, on this Bloodseeker. He can go right back in again. It's a false sense of security, Waga. Dagger gets tossed over onto PP. He does not care. Adrian just running down MJZ. Couple of these clicks to drag back over onto Illic. They buy back on the Warlock. No ultimate, though. So get another toss back on Bloodseeker. Adrian just trying to fight his way through right now, and Illic not prepared to deal with it because he also has an Abyssal Blade. Although the Nullifier will get used on Bloodseeker. They're gonna back off. Oh, he's sitting really low. Knight jumps in. He'll get the kill. He'll turn back around, throw back on Oscar as he'll be forced to eat that cheese. But Knight, he's powerful. They're not gonna let him leave this base. He's gonna have to go in a body bag. And they try to finish off one more, but they'll TP away. A big turnaround coming out from the side of Thunder as they protect their racks and they get themselves some much needed kills.
2,200 gold for the Bloodseeker alone there, and the Beastmaster kill also gave over 1,600 gold, and Storm just had to watch his team die there as he didn't have any mana anymore. A very awkward position for him as he was full HP sitting back, but had no way to help his friends really, so they bleed some very important kills towards Thunder, who are now striking towards mid again.
Knight knows that he's powerful, throws the dagger out, immediately joining up with the supports. They'll throw the Ink Swall on PP, just a little extra insurance and protection. They're still in the tree line, but they'll be able to take the mid tower.
Yes, tier 2 tower removed, and they're still, you know, feeling pretty safe here with the shield rune. Gonna go in and play towards the Ancients.
Oh, Shenek, if he only, I mean, he knows. They'll jump onto Knight, but the rest of the team, they're nearby. They're waiting. They'll go and drop the arena, the soul bind on top of it. But again, both of them, they're BKB. They're just chasing after Shenek. They want to finish him off. Another dagger, it'll be enough.
Triple dagger, so good there. That was a nice hex by the Mars immediately on the Storm, but that strong dispel coming out from the Inks will keeping him safe as well. Otherwise, Storm could have been in a bit of a trouble there as well.
If you're Thunder, I think you're feeling pretty good right now. Yes, you had to expend, a couple of these ultimates, but every kill that you get just gets you a little bit closer to being able to stall this game out longer.
Yeah, and everything changes when PA gets this level 25 and Aghanim's combination. Those triple daggers, if anyone dies, everything starts just falling apart. He even buys himself the shard now, so he can get those extra fan of knives in as well. Can be very good against the both the Storm and the Bloodseeker as well to remove their passives.
This PA is like, all right, I've got my items, but I need more items, so we're gonna have to get that Aghanim's Blessing, so that's gonna free up a spot. And then looks like we're gonna go for that Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, makes sense. Abyssal is probably better than getting Rapier here. You could say they could go just straight damage, but at the same time, I think Lockdown is the most important thing. Getting more ways to control the Storm, holding him in place will, finally result in him dying, hopefully. But at the same time, though, Mad King's not in a bad spot despite dying these times. They're still 16,000 gold ahead. Bloodseeker hitting level 25, so he gets the 2 Rupture charges as well now. Huge talent.
And the way that they're playing is so nice, like we talked about it multiple times now, but having the Soulbind coupled up with Roar and then Rupture, if you can get those things all lined up together, the Wombo combo is just so incredibly powerful.
Yeah, and Grimstroke's doing a good job in general with his positioning as well to sit back and hide. I mean, he has found a lot of really crucial soulbinds early on in the fight by using his Blink Dagger and Glimmer Cape.
It's that Shadow Blade on Silencer helping to lead. It's a double damage rune down the bottom spot.
Radiant are scanning.
I still don't really feel like this tiny mid has come into its true form, We don't have him picking off heroes that much. We don't see him have some crazy damage with Aghanim Scepter. He has the Silver Edge, so a little bit of crits and break, but I don't know. I'm not sure that this Tiny is working out as well as I would have wanted this game.
No, I will agree, because I figure, the way that Thunder wanted to play this early game is just make as much space as possible for Knight. Instead, I felt like Knight was showing up to some of these engagements just like a little bit too early. And again, he went for the BKB over the Deso first, but it just didn't end up working. I feel like they needed more snowballing coming out from the Tiny and potentially this Mars too.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, enable themselves to actually play towards timings and use those ultimates off cooldown, because we really haven't seen that many golems used this game. We haven't seen that many arenas either. I mean, yeah, we've had a few fights, but we're 45 minutes into the game, and we kind of just got dragged into this with Mad Kings being in a better position to farm up.
Yeah, I would have liked to see it be way more active early. Like, you've got a Tiny, you've got a Warlock. Like, you could have taken all 4 of those heroes aside from PA and made a lot happen. And I just felt like every time I looked at Mars, he was farming. He wasn't being super active. I'd prefer to have seen him be more active.
He does have the Refresher, though. The Refresher Hex combo with Blink and BKB. So Illic has hit a really nice power spike here. And they just want to try and get an even fight where they have some decent vision. They do have deep ward over in the enemy jungle. They might smoke over towards it.
Looks to be the case as they're starting their way over. A Lotus Orb picked up on Knight, so we'll be seeing more protection coming out. And Tiny has the gem, so he's going to be leading the charge, or no, are they going to let Knight do it? Lincoln's completed for him. They're doing a lot with protection, and I like it. I like to see it. Illic, okay, taking point, slowly creeping their way over. They don't have any real vision in this corner of the map, but they assume that's got to be where they are, because they do have vision in other quadrants.
Oh, Bloodseeker. He's going to be spotted under a ward.
He is going to get spotted underneath the ward immediately. They're just going to try to blow up Adrian. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. And the Soulbind over onto Knight, over onto Illic. It's fine, though, as now Slotums, they're playing that little 3-legged race, as they're going to just move back, reset. Lot was used there. MJC is still in the back lines. They have bigger fish to fry, but they can't get their hands on it.
The mass TP out.
Oh, my God. I can't believe that... I can't believe everybody got out.
That is crazy. They all found a spot to TP out there. Each with their different tools. Glimmer Cape TPing out, or PA blurring and running into a corner. They do get themselves out of the situation. However, they used a lot of resources, and Roche is up now with the area under their control. Mad King's just gonna take it. But Bloodseeker used his buyback, so this Aegis is mainly just going to be a consolation for the fact that you already used buyback.
This also gives them a chance to put some wards out on the map, push out lanes. It sucks having to lose this Roche for sure, but like you've got creeps pushed all the way into their base in the mid lane right now. That's gonna feel good for the first time in quite a while. Thunder has been able to move out on the map.
Yeah, they, executed that really well, the ward drop and then spotting the Bloodseeker. They bursted fast enough that even with the attempted save from the Global Silence, it just wasn't enough. So they hold on to this game. Only 11,000 gold lead now, but the bigger thing is this refresher cheese Aegis that they just got. See if they're going to take a fight here with the Bloodseeker not having buyback. It could be dangerous still.
Checking to see if we have anything really new and shiny on any of these heroes. Do you have the Blink Dagger on the Grimstroke, which I think is really nice, especially because if his Storm's just starting to run in there or whatever, he'll be able to follow in good positioning. Red Monster holding on to himself. He's got a Aeon Disc to try to survive some of this initial burst coming out, but
yeah,
they brought the battle back to the bottom lane.
I think the refresher shard on him is so big too on Silencer, because then he can use it early in the fight, and then when Beast comes out, he can just press it again.
Yeah, he's got to survive until that point, though, so I like the Aeon Disc choice on him.
Yeah, he's generally feeling pretty safe, and that Shadow Blade is serving him really well against the PA's Nullifier, because even if she sees him, she has to have someone nearby to provide actual detection, or he just simply presses Shadow Blade and walks away.
Yeah. Do they smoke and try to wrap around here? Like, what's the play for Thunder right now? Because they're back at the front door.
I think
Mad Kings won't take no for an answer.
I think they need to fight in their own base. I mean, yeah, they surprised Mad Kings by going up and taking the fight by Roche, but right now they gotta try and fight in.
Okay, a little, oh wow, oh my god. Well,
Wow.
There is no Mars there, and he has no buyback. That was such a fast zip. Oh my gosh.
120 seconds down. This is a great opening.
Yeah.
Tiny.
All right, nicely done here by Slatos, but
tosses
they
the
have
bird.
Yeah, they toss the bird. He's also just ruptured because they have another ability of it. They're just gonna chase him down, grab him in the vortex. They get the kill. Buyback though comes out. PP finding that opening. They'll get. Oh man, Knight chasing after them. They go in with a triple kill as now they'll find Adrian and they're waiting patiently. They'll be able to get an ultra on this PA.
Yo, that is absurd. The PA just destroyed them in that fight. Absolutely crazy. Got a lot of damage out there. We see the Fan of Knife spans, the dagger spray with the triple dagger. Just crazy turnaround there. Bloodseeker doesn't have buyback. Even Beastmaster doesn't have buyback because he didn't save gold for it. Oh no.
Well,
This feels real bad.
She is a coming. They do have buyback for the Storm. They have it for the Grim, but this PA again, very, very scary. Just waiting patiently, hoping that somebody's going to approach and try to push this creep wave away. Look at this. Quietly waiting, has the basher now.
I don't think he should wait though. I think he needs to hit right now. The buybacks are on cooldown. Even if the Silencer tries to defend, he can't do anything anyway. Force those buybacks, take down the buildings. I mean, this is a big, big opportunity to turn around the game entirely.
Got the Ags on MJZ now too, so it's going to be even more potent of a Warlock ultimate as they chew through these buildings very quickly.
Yeah,
Are going to have a couple coming back up again soon, but not the big player, not the Bloodseeker. Lotus Orb being placed over on Knight.
Gotta be careful about the refresher on Storm. When he zips in, if he respawns here, it could be real big, but they are gonna get the melee racks before then. Could even get the range racks too.
They do have the gem over on Slatum, so if that silencer gets a little too close, it could be disastrous. Also dropping the sentry in the base. PP considering, but just zip back again.
Yeah, he's zipping in, but...
Yeah, they smoke. They want this. They're thinking that they're going to get too greedy.
Oh, this is a nice move.
Look at this positioning. They're like waiting patiently. Just going to dagger, finding the opening. The immediate sheep stick being used over on Beastmaster. He is dead for 90. They hit fast and furious. They'll get the soul bind off. Things the Red Monster over in the corner here, but Knight, he's not looking healthy. He even gets the kill as now Slatums and MJZ trying to just get away. Looks like PP's on the hunt, though. He'll find himself this kill on that Warlock.
Trying to sneak away. The Mars still attempting to get out. Oh my god, he didn't reach him. He had Abyssal ready there on Bloodseeker. He was so close to clicking on the Mars. PA does have buyback, even if the push was to turn around their way now. Man, Thunder Awaken went from being 16,000 gold behind and looking like they were just drawing dead in this game to being, you know, dead even now after all this. After all is said and done, this is anyone's game at this point.
Look at all the Lincolns that are coming out now. We've got a Lincoln's now for Tiny. We have the full Abyssal Blade on PA, and she still has buyback, which is good too. And then what else did I see? Something else just came up. Ugh.
They're adding more survivability as well. The Lotus. I mean, Rubik has 4.5k gold, so I'm wondering if he's going to go towards something like the Aghanim Scepter here as well, or if he wants to get more survivability for his team. Maybe a Wind Waker build could come in.
Well, they're going to have the Beastmaster up in about 3 seconds, so he'll be rejoining it into the fray.
Yeah.
Got Cheese still on the Bloodseeker.
All of Mad Kings just kind of sitting back, not going to be able to force any buybacks here on the side of Thunder Awaken. So they're working on their own timings. They have Hex coming up in just 600 gold on this Grimstroke. So then he's got the self-combo.
There's a Hex already on line 2 for the Storm. I think that was the one I had seen that had just popped up.
Yeah, he bought that one just recently.
Yeah.
Now going for a Consume. He wants to get Refresher on Storm for that double Aegis and double pull. The AoE, the budget black hole.
Tensions are high. Seeing the Blink Dagger get picked up now for Rubik. Everybody's just trying to get into better positions.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a positional game. If you stack up a little bit too close to each other in the fights, it's so easy to get wombo comboed for both teams.
Yeah.
It's more obvious from the side of Mad Kings because, like, oh, you got bound and you got double pulled by Storm or you got double roared. But over on the side of Thunder Awaken, if you stack, you just disappear. Fatal Bonds and then PA jumping in, pressing her stuff. Heroes just get deleted.
I would like to see them try to put some more vision out on this map. It is so dark for the side of Thunder, whereas Mad Kings, they still have a couple wards out. Not much. But any vision is better than no vision.
Yeah. Get themselves
coming out from side of Mad Kings.
Okay, so it's towards top. Roche may spawn in 30. Both teams are smoking towards it.
Yeah, we're seeing the...
Oh, this is so risky. This is just who gets the better spot on each other. This is why late game is so scary.
Illick leading the charge. Finds himself Oscar. He's gonna back off though. He goes a little bit deeper, but he goes too far. His team is not with him. Slatum's though trying, gets the jump over on Adrian, but he can't do nearly enough. Shenek though gets bursted down. Buybacks are coming out en masse. Soulblind over onto MJZ and Knight. BKB's gonna get used on Knight. He's trying to just do as much damage as possible. Adrian, he's sitting so low, he finishes him off, but now he's gonna turn his attention over to Oscar, over to PP. The fans are coming out, the daggers, everything, but they're just both cheaped up. PP's just a little piggy over in the corner. This is the disaster for the side of Thunder. They don't have buyback on this Tiny. They have buyback on the PA, but Roche should be coming up soon. In fact, there he is. And they're in a great position on the side of Mad Kings to take it.
That was good reactions there by PP, just immediately zipping when he saw that something was wrong. And Illick didn't decide to jump the Beastmaster when he saw the summons there as the smoke broke. Instead, ended up running into the Storm and not really able to get the grab on him. Instead, he gets primal roared by the Beastmaster. And the big part of the fight, the Rupture connected on PA so that she couldn't actually leave and just got bullied down from there.
Was that a mistake for Illick to just continue to dive further in? Because I felt like nobody else on that team was in position. And yeah, we have a lot of like different ways for them to jump in. Oh, this is big on Rubik actually. He has the Inkswell pickup. But it just felt like his team couldn't keep up. They couldn't close the gap as easily.
Yeah,
and it was so risky to go that deep without vision.
Yeah, definitely. A Storm now going for the push here. I'll have to talk about that when they're done sieging here, I think.
Well, that's going to be pretty quickly if, if they keep going as fast as they are. They do smoke up, but they don't have this tiny, and they don't want to have to buy back on the PA if possible. Still have the mid tower and rack, so they don't have megas yet.
Roche is up. They're just gonna back up and take it. So when you smoke like that and you run smoke into smoke, it's just panic, right? That's why I said it's a scary thing. A lot of pro players will express that, you know, late game is very, you know, in some ways very RNG for you. You run into each other. Who gets the better angle of approach? You can say that it's, you know, oh, it's always skill, but truth of the matter is that sometimes you just connect in a way that is unfortunate for you, and that's pretty much what happened to the Mars there. He didn't break smoke in a very good way. He didn't see a target for him to hex. So Mad Kings, they get a little bit of an edge there, and now 58 minutes into the game, they get Roche number 4 or 5. I'm not even sure what we're on 4, I guess.
Not 100% sure at this point. There's been quite a few. But if we look at the buybacks, no buyback available for the Bloodseeker, none for Tiny, although he's getting close. Illick's already used this, it's on cooldown. We'll be off cooldown for the Silencer soon. And then the two supports, the Warlock and Grimstroke, both do not have it available, so...
I mean, there's a chance that they just wait out for the tier 5 items as well. It's 1 minute.
I would at this point.
It's only 1 minute. They will have Aegis for a long time with it anyway. Would like to see them just, you know, stack up their own ancient camp and make sure that you get them as fast as possible. But at the same time, they could go mid if they wanted to. They have all the tools they need, but you gotta be a little bit wary. Last time you went mid, that PA just absolutely slaughtered everyone. Getting tier 5 items would be a wise choice right now.
Yeah, I feel like the big play for Mad Kings is just wait for those next tier items, but also take away all of the vision and all of the room so that way you get those items, but your enemies don't.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're trying to keep the enemy part of the map cleared. They didn't kill both the Ancients though, so there's some access here for Thunder Awaken to get neutral items themselves. They could stack up their own Ancient here if they go with Mars.
I mean, they suspect this though, like Illick, he's trying to push it out. This is a little spooky as, you know, Storm finding this opening, finds himself multiples, but again, he is going to get to slow down that nullifier all the hits. That's going to be a very dead Storm Spirit. Now, Red Monster left behind, the Aeon just getting used. He's going to use the Global Silence, his attention to MJZ. Might be able to get this Warlock, but no, he's not going to be able to finish him off as Oscar and the backline Slatum gets stripped ahead. But they'll follow up with that Soulbind. They have the Rupture. Adrian, he's back into the fight. He's got to stay alive, though. If he goes down, this is going to be a disastrous buyback as Knight, he's trying, but he cannot survive. The Zip 4 trying to find Knight. He will teleport away. Buybacks are coming out in mass, though. They're not willing to give them this advantage.
Oh, this fight, man, this fight. Storm giving his team a heart attack with jumping in completely alone into everyone, getting hexed and just dying for absolutely nothing. Fortunately for them, they managed to turn this fight around in a good way. Bloodseeker almost going down there, but had the Aegis to keep himself safe. And now we see some neutral items coming up. The Ex Machina over on the Bloodseeker. Huge, huge pickup.
Nothing like plus 20 armor and a bunch of resetting of the cooldowns.
Yeah, 20 armor alone against PA is already so massive.
Thunder's trying to get out here onto this map, though. What do we have? So the Mirror Shield? Yeah, that's a great pickup for Storm. My goodness.
That would have saved him there in the previous fights. Would have been very nice to have. 2 dead, though.
They're just
Nobody
walking into
available
their
to
buildings, though. They're feeling very, very powerful right now. Adrian ripping down that tower. Knight's still trying. Do have 1 tier 5 token. Axe gets picked up for Rubik. They're just waiting patiently. They know that they can't approach without the rest of their team, though. They don't have Mars. They don't have this Warlock, and those are big ultimates.
He bought a Refresher on PA. Is ready with double ulti here and has Styggy and Deso.
There we go. That's something that'll help for sure. Slatum's jumping in with the toss back onto Adrian. The nullifier. In comes Knight. Gets roared up, though. Plus his Global Silence. Knight just having to stay still, and he is down. No buyback. That is the GG call. Mad Kings will be able to take game number 1 here in the semi lower bracket series.
Wow, that is a pretty crazy game for sure. You can see both teams just duking it out as even as you can have it. 60